welcome back to my channel. I don't know what's going on out there, but I know in my 20s dating was easy. I mean, all these terminologies: Netflix and chill, zombie, backslide, ghosting, and a whole lot more. I never knew them. And women that got married in their 20s, divorced, and then going to the dating world in their 30s, or got married in their 30s, going to the dating world in their 40s, they get the shock of their life. You will be amazed the amount of sons of failures out there. Or you could just be a nun. That's my backup plan. Yeah, you live your life for Jesus. You get to keep all your power to yourself. You don't have to submit to anyone if you don't want to. You know, I mean, ghosting. You're talking to a guy and he just disappears. To where? And from my research, this seems to happen a lot. You know, ladies, you have to protect yourself. I don't want you to end up in any psychiatric hospital. So number one, communication. Ghosting is usually the result of improper communication. So when you meet someone, keep the conversation moving. Ask questions. You know, I'm not saying make him feel uncomfortable, but add questions early, right? You can have list of questions that are very important to you. For example, does he like kids? Does he want kids? Does he have any addictions such as alcohol, pornography? You know, and chip it in randomly as you converse with him regularly, right? We keep saying men don't know how to communicate. That's a big lie. They can't communicate. You see him talk about other things, but when it comes to the actual relationship, he's not saying much. That's not acceptable. This happens when he has a lot of things he's hiding, right? And also when he says things like, I'm always so busy, I might not be reachable all the time, it means he might ghost you. It means there are others, or you might even have a serious relationship that you don't know about. Because if he wants you, he will communicate clearly. There will be no confusion. And your instincts, you know, when you meet someone on the first dates and you instinctively know something is wrong, but we ignore it, right? Understand that your instincts are often over 90% right. I remember many years ago, I was on a date with this guy, and right there, I just had an instinct that he didn't have a clean source of income. Nothing physically gave him away. He was well dressed. I just had a feeling. And I ignored it. Months later, it turned out that I was right. Pay attention to how you feel around this person from the first dates. We often know, but we ignore it, especially if you haven't you've been single for a long time and you know you just want a relationship. You tend to ignore everything. Communication is key. Don't be afraid to ask questions, especially if you're a woman that knows what she wants, right? You know what you want for yourself, what you want to see in your future, right? Number two, sexual abstainers. Listen, this is really not for God though. It's for us. It takes a whole level of maturity for a man to sleep with you and not lose a little bit of interest or totally lose interest in you. Especially men in their 20s and 30s. Their eyes are wandering all over the place. I remember a lady, strong, independent lady. You know, strong, independent ladies, they fall the hardest. They act all strong on the outside, but when they fall in love, it's crazy. She sexually abstained for about 2 years. Then she started chatting with this new guy she met on a dating website for a few months. On their first dates of actually meeting, it happened. She didn't plan it. She got caught up with her whole feelings and everything. But after that day, the guy wanted her to start chasing him. And I'm guessing maybe he wasn't expecting them to have sex on the first dates. And maybe for him, the whole excitement is gone. It takes a very matured man to understand that she's not that kind of girl, you know. Especially someone you've been chatting with for a while, right? I'm sorry, that's why I like much older men. Because even the ones in their 40s and 50s, you still need to train them, right? But, you know, jokes aside, sexual abstinence can save you a whole lot of trouble, right? When a man is serious about you, you will know. You don't have to date forever. A whole year is more than enough. Number three, don't be too available. Unless you try to pursue a man, but don't be too available. This can happen when this relationship is the only thing that you really need, and you finally have it and you're feeling so good about it. It's good. At the same time, you don't want to send off signs of desperation, right, to the other person, or you don't want him to ghost you. Don't be too available. When you're in a relationship, don't baby him. You're not his mother. Some ladies think men just want women who can take care of them. That's true to an extent, right? Some men are very domesticated. They can cook and clean better than you can. So how do you please such men? By not suffocating him. Let him be independent. Be happy for him when he hangs out with his friends. Don't start calling him a million times or resenting when he spends time away from you, right? You should also have other things, interesting things that you're doing, or have other close friend relationships as well, maybe with your family members and friends. You both need your own separate lives that you can enjoy even when you're not together, to avoid codependency, drama-filled, toxic relationship, okay? So number one, communication. Ask questions. Don't ignore your instincts. Number two is sexual abstainers. I think it's even easier in your 30s and 40s than in your 20s when you still have a lot of things you're trying to accomplish. So it's definitely possible. People in their 30s, 40s that are really serious, they don't really date for so long. And lastly, don't be too available. Have other interests. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you.